Hello everyone and welcome to Trials of VinTear for session 20 here in Arcane Focus D&D. Shh, do you hear that? Sound? It was a sound effect. Simple one. It was a T-Rex roar. And the reason why you can hear that is because this is a recorded video. I just edited it in right now. So if you're chatting right now, especially on the Purple app, we're not seeing it live. We apologize. But still, follow, subscribe, leave a comment, all that good stuff. Thank you so much. Wait, does anyone else hear a sound effect? Nick, what do you hear?
I hear a very loud drill.
All right, yeah, I hear it too. Steve, what do you hear? Hello everyone, and welcome to Trials of VinTear
Your
for
voice,
session
the
20.
sweet sound of your voice.
Oh, now I gotta edit that, dude. Damn it.
Yes!
Temple, what do you hear?
The morning calls of chirping birds.
That will probably be an easy find to find. Amber, what do you hear?
Just gonna say drums because that's also easy to find.
Oh, my players are very nice to me today. Yes, these are my players. I just gave them an introduction while integrating them with the bit. And I'm your DM, Mike. Join us tomorrow on YouTube for Short Rest. It is a bite-sized summary of this exact show. So thanks for joining us. As we've done for at least for the last week, we're going to continue on a little bit of this tradition, give you guys a bit of a break for rolling d20s before we get into the recap. So you guys, you won't believe the ducking day I've had. Wait, ducking. I think my autocorrect ducked up the script. Hold on.
Quack.
Yeah, I think this is all fouled up now. I might just have to wing it. Anyways, I've had a few rough days that left me a bit introspective. Pondering the meaning of life, as well as getting my feathers rustled a little bit. But then I remembered D&D and TTRPG is always here for me, and so I got to work, wrote this script, and let the worries roll off me like waters off a duck's back.
That duck was real this time, right?
And then you can chalk it up to you can all chalk it up to the transparent ducky. Ryzen dice set. Check out this transparent with a hint of green dice set with a trapped little duck inside. You can get a discount on this dice set as well as many others on Onlycrit with our link and promo code Arcane Focus D&D. Thank you Onlycrits for the discount as well as the reduced bill on our viewers. I will never stop saying puns. No one can persuade me not to.
Quack, quack.
Well, actually, I've always had the power to do this, but I've never done it before. I've resisted temptation, but I think just this once, I'm going to allow myself because it's so fitting.
Mm-hmm.
Carry on.
That surprised me. All right. Well, with that all out of the way, you guys ready for a quick recap?
Yes.
Our vision pulls back as we peek inside a gorgeous restaurant as Phoenix, Arrow, Diva, and Morse enjoy a meal, discussing their next steps and the events of the night that just occurred. And maybe diving a bit deeper into personal motivations and backstories. And as the bill was paid, we were joined with Legati, who was discussing the information he gleaned from the papers taken from Yuka's home. Notes about Volred and his involvement within the Potter's Guild and how he's not really a true member, though he does hold important information. As well as gathering a pass to the Throne Stone. There's also damning correspondence about how the Potter's Guild might just kill off Volred in a year's time, depending on he's proved to be useful, and he can be a useful person. There are notes about the Takeaway, a pop-up shop that the innkeeper of the Bordeaux, Christoph, is currently looking for. And something called the Joint Quarry Project, a move to mine deeper into the Shoulder Mountains, regardless of the historic importance that Legati knows lies inside. As our heroes rest, next morning they talk to Christoph and a plan is hatched. There was a detailed letter sent to the newspaper, as well as to some of the locals here, detailing about Yuka and the Potter Guild's actions. Phoenix listens to Christoph and agrees to help him find the Takeaway, as he believes he's been cursed by the owner. And lastly, we revisit the grip and report Legati's success in sneaking in the arcane parchment into Yuka's home, and they inform the owner of the grip, Tavant, that they were looking to create a growing group of figures who might be against the Potter's Guild and Yuka as a whole. However, they're currently tight-lipped at the moment, our party, as they will reveal more information when it deems worthy. With all this information in mind, as well as the growing concern that maybe there will be a retaliation effect coming from the Potter's Guild or the forward guard, who seem to be in the pocket of the Potter's Guild, our heroes decided it might be a great moment to leave the city temporarily, just to maybe get some distance and maybe shake off anyone who may be chasing them. So we head off north into the Handle Woods, giving the city a wave goodbye as our party attempts to locate this the scarred part of the woods where the dead body of a long dead dragon lies. You had a brief little momentary engagement with a couple of moonshiners who were also sort of helping out a couple of the lumber folk here, a couple of the people who work in lumber, as they informed you that because of the laws made by the Dracewind Kingdom, they can't really go further into the Handle Woods due to the dead body of the dragon. And so you guys showed kind of, the quest given, and there was some hopeful, experiences, sort of like people were really hopeful that what you do here might actually allow them to go deeper in. You guys had sort of a day's walk, and at night, the scene that we left off in was there was discussion of a flashy, fiery display coming from Diva as you sort of cleared a little bit of the encampment you have here in the forest, and with a natural 20, blew a perfect, like almost oval, like just sort of this round fireball coming from your mouth as you start to display fire breathing, as well as a bit of dance. And that flash and gleam, I believe we had Phoenix and maybe Legati scan the trees as the fire illuminates a lot of the trees here. And you see that there are these strange-looking white bird-like creatures that have almost like elongated arms, almost like if you crossed like a monkey's form with a bird. More avian features, but just sort of like the elongated arms that almost match that form. Get startled by the fire and fly off past the tree line where you can see them. And we will rejoin the party as Diva, finish your display. It was magnificent. It was the best fire blowing you've ever done, probably in your time when you studied within the theater. Or maybe it's the fact that you haven't done it in a while. The fact that you were able to get right back into it is amazing.
Blow fire. Bow. See? Phoenix, you could do that, right?
Mine's more for like tactical purposes, but sure.
I'm pretty sure that would hurt too.
Didn't she say that, and she points to the creepy bird things, that thing's followed by a bunch of weird bird things?
They have left as the fire is ignited, once Diva has sort of given a bow and all that, and you start to make their attention, they have left your eyesight.
Okay, well, she still points in the direction they left to, remembering that as a noted point.
I'm just, for my sake, the rest of us didn't see the birds, right?
Yeah.
Or the bird is. I looked behind her. Oh.
Yeah, I think it was just Legati and Phoenix.
So I just looked behind her and be like, what are you talking about? There's nothing there.
Well, they flew off when they seen your fire, but I thought she said, Tavin said that or somebody, I can't remember now, said that creature gets followed by a bunch of white birds.
They flew off. I listened to the air. I don't hear anything else. I think we might be fine.
What did they look like again? They were weird, right?
Yeah, they were odd. They together, like it's almost like when you see a bird when they sort of like sink their feet into their body, sort of to keep warm. When they were still on some of the branches, it looked like just any other white bird, And the moment that the fire went off, like any bird that sort of gets startled, there's like an extension of their body a little bit as they're ready to maybe take off. And in that moment, their feet or their legs were way longer, covered in feathers instead of like normal birds, where it's just sort of like the stick type of a leg. And the arms go wide, and it looks like almost simian, where it's like almost like elbow joints and long arms, with sort of clawed hands. And unlike a bird where it doesn't really have hands and arms, this one does, and their wings sort of extend out to their back.
Kind of like a bat.
No, you know, like how a bat, like it does have like the upper appendages, but it's connected to sort of their body. This is more like
feathered wings.
Yeah, I mean, like think humanoid with wings, but sort of this avian design.
Like a flying monkey?
I was gonna say like a harpy.
That's a great.
Or like a harpy?
I think.
Yeah, I think Legati describes what he saw in the best detail that he can, and then whenever anybody says like a bat or like a harpy, he's just like, yes. Sort of like that. Yes, they clearly unnatural.
They were weird looking, for sure.
Most weird looking, yes.
Does anybody want to go in the tree just to see if they left anything?
I'll go in. I can go in the tree.
Morris is going to take this opportunity to tell the party, you guys are literally... You have too much time on your hands if you're focusing on a bunch of birds.
Aren't we out here to kill a giant bird?
Exactly. And if they're tailing it most of the time, we're probably in the right spot. By accident. I'm gonna go hop in the tree.
There's no such thing as accidents. Actually hops into the tree.
I'm gonna ask Moores what his plan is to find this thing we're hunting, if not to find birds and then follow the birds. I'm not entrapping him, but genuinely interested in his approach to hunting this thing.
Moores is automatically gonna perceive that as he's trying to paint me as dumb, isn't he? That's what he's trying to do. He thinks
That's not what he said.
He
Morris.
thinks I ain't smart, but guess what? I figured him out. I could read him like a book, and I'm gonna tell him, well, let's be honest. I'm not the brains of this operation. That's you guys. So, I'm the muscle. You point to the bird to me, and I take at it with my hammer. That's the
all right. Fair enough. Fair enough. I had thought maybe you had a hunting experience or something we had not discussed yet, but
I thought you were the lawyer, not the muscle.
it's the lawyer's friend.
It's okay. That one also not that smart. Lots of good dancing though.
I just
It's funny to think.
out a
Yeah.
blade and just kind of start picking at my fingers, being like, "Keep talking."
It's
I'm
funny
really
to think
glad
with
I've opened this tree with all these insults flying.
that guy, the disorganized lawyer, you are also not the brains of the operation. Is funny, but Legati doesn't say that.
Again, we're just connecting points on the dot to the correct, conclusion.
Points on the dot, indeed.
Yes.
Phoenix, roll me either an acrobatics or athletics check as you try to climb a tree.
Oh, I think it's
Because I
probably
don't
gonna
think
be
you have
acrobatics.
the movement feature that allows you to go upward surfaces without a check.
That's pretty good. Hold on. I'm gonna do acrobatics because I'm proficient. So dirty 20.
Dirty 20, yeah. Rolling around a branch, just getting some more upper momentum until you finally land. Your intention is to climb this tree and then just sort of get a good lookout of where you can...
A good lookout, and then what Diva said because she wanted to see if anything was left behind from the birds.
Okay. Rolling perception check.
Wow, that was almost not one. It's been perception 16.
16. I'll say not at the tree canopy, because it would have been very precarious and dangerous to get to where most of the trees are sort of weaker at the top. Kind of maybe 80 feet, or not 80 feet, 80% of the way up there.
I'm like 80 feet. That's a big ass tree.
Yeah, it's a big ass tree. No, it's not that. It's not that tall. There are no like, other than like loose twigs and sticks and sort of signs of a creature who is there and maybe disturbed a bit of the foliage here. There's not like notes. There's really nothing really to find here. And you sort of quickly gleam that and start to look at the surrounding areas, and you can see above some of the tree lines, through the moonlit, clouded night, there are soft black silhouettes that sort of cast that shadow off the moon of these flying creatures that are heading south.
All right. I hop down.
Well,
Nothing up there, but they're headed south.
Which way are we heading again?
North.
Aren't we heading south? Or we're heading north.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, we could wait. We could have just spooked them and they flew off in that direction and they're going to circle back or something. But
Well, we did discuss dealing with our quest for dirt first, and then hoping to run into our winged target afterwards. Could continue on, I suppose. How far south was the edge of the forest that we came in?
I think you only went like maybe a quarter of a day there, so not that far. I think if like you took an hour south, you would probably get back to the tree line.
Or if somebody could run really fast, they might be able to go check it out, tell us if it's worth anything.
Legati.
30 minutes.
I mean, he's
Just
not
saying,
wrong. He's not wrong.
We all have skills.
No, I know, but I feel like one of your skills is volunteer.
It's identifying that some of us are better at certain things than other of us. I would not be the first to get something off a high shelf, for example.
Now, before you could.
I mean, I still could with the mage hand and all, but I like other people to feel, useful.
Or just have them do the dirty work.
Or the running, yes. I'm open to ideas. I think
time
we
is
can
it?
continue on north, or it's nighttime,
yeah,
right?
It's nighttime.
Night, right?
It's you're about to rest right now.
Okay.
Phoenix, did we just look safe for the knife? You didn't see anything that might be a threat?
Did I see anything sus to the birds, or is that?
I'll say from that current vantage point, immediately in this immediate moment, because things can change throughout the night, it doesn't seem like you are actively being hunted, or there doesn't seem to be any active threats at the particular moment you took a look.
Seems okay right now. I mean, we could take turns taking watch.
Fine with that. The birds might come back. We could just keep going north, or we can go south and go find them. So, but I don't think we're gonna get much done this time of night.
That and we don't know really what's out there this time of night. I'm not eager to find out.
So camp?
Fine with me.
Yay, camp!
Legati's setting up his tent.
Yeah, I'll say
ready for camp.
the reason why they're probably not as active, but Arrow definitely is. Sort of hears this and starts to be sort of the go-getter and starts to immediately start to put up camp for you guys, helping out Legati.
Moors will set a fire. A campfire, specifically.
I'm still gonna poke at Phoenix and see, let me teach you. You
Now?
have fire. Well, what else are you gonna do? We have the moonshine. You have the fire.
Sleep. That's what I was gonna do. It takes me all 8 hours. Alright, fine. One time. And then I'm going to bed.
I'll
say
take first watch, and I'll probably be up after this.
yeah. Are we saying like Phoenix and
Yeah, I'll take
Diva? You guys
I'll
are...
take watch with Diva. We'll see how much watching
Yeah.
we should do.
I'll say with Diva's assistance sort of giving you direction, Phoenix, go ahead and roll me a performance check with advantage.
Yeah, I'm gonna need it, considering.
It's a lot of Diva. It's a lot of you to, no, head, put the chin out. You don't want to any of the liquid to drip and then
So,
catch fire.
So chin down, close throat, don't swallow.
Well, my dice did not like me. One was a natural one. The advantage was 14 minus 1. So 13.
You're about to,
Let's set a tree on fire.
because you don't really need a torch. You could just sort of light your fingers on fire and
Yeah.
then blow out. You're hearing Diva sort of prep you, and you're getting all the information as much as you can. And just as you're about to exhale, so you're breathing through the nose, ready to blow out the liquid. a soft tickle enters your throat, and you swallow all the moonshine.
Ah, shit.
At least it wasn't lit first.
Ugh.
I'm like, how drunk are you?
Oh, I'm fine. It's not that I can't handle my liquor. It's just I just choose not to.
All right, so swallowing's not your thing, so do this. Just pour a little in your hand and just light it, and you could just kind of play with it.
Crazy.
I take this moment to like go to Legati. I see what he's doing. Overhearing what Phoenix and Diva are talking, I look at Legati and I say, "Hey, Legati, tell me how does it work that somebody can control their alcohol but chooses not to?"
I know I can control, but choose not to drink.
Well, you didn't
Choose
say
not to
that,
drink
so
it.
to me it sounded like I choose not to control it. So
What you said and what Morris heard are not the same.
yes,
I mean, I
Yeah.
did say it multiple times when we were in the bar that she does not drink.
Yeah, but I think
Legati
this
just
is
says
sidebar.
that free will is a very mysterious thing.
Huh.
I mean-
to think about that one.
I'm not thinking of necessarily blowing it outward. I was trying to do a dance, but it was more of a tribal dance, and so I have these, and she has torches. Can't I just wet the torches in this and then blow the fire?
You know what? Yeah, don't ice because I see the dancing. The dancing is not good. Don't dance.
I'm not
You run.
dancing yet. I'm actually not that bad. It's just I'm not used to people watching. This is more of a adaptation because I don't know. People
All right,
don't.
do it your way. Light the torch, put the alcohol in mouth, spit on the torch.
I don't feel like
blow
I'm
the
gonna
torch.
drink it again.
Don't swallow.
I'm not trying to.
I
We'll
didn't
see.
take you as a swallower.
Phrasing.
Roll me another
said what I
performance
said.
check with advantage. This is Diva we're talking about. Come on, you weren't expecting?
I'm trying not to say anything about Arrow when Arrow's not here. Oh, there we go.
I mean, Arrow's here.
Arrow's here. Just, I think what's very apt for Arrow is that he's just sitting off the side on like
she
a
was
chopped
gonna say I
log
haven't
and just
gotten any
going
complaints thus far. Anyway,
hands on the temples. Just
I mean, if you keep swallowing, Arrow's probably gonna get lucky anyways. So.
okay. I'm going to camp. I'm going to tent.
Diva. Natural 20, but -1, so 19.
19. You needed something stabilized. Definitely not like the movement of the hand. You definitely are sort of a
Sorry, Titan.
yeah.
It's like all that frustration you were able to focus.
Yeah. Instead of your display, Diva, where it was like a loud, showy display, this sort of fireball. This looks literally like a flamethrower, like a thin line, just a constant stream of fire until finally dissipates. As it was a very good display.
Bravo! Good job. There is hope for you yet.
The tent flap. Are the jokes over?
No, never.
I should have seen that. That's my fault. I should have seen that coming.
Just stay in there, trust me.
And tell you what, because I've done it, it does make a very beautiful burn.
I'm confused what we're talking about now.
And always. Sometimes intentional, sometimes not intentional.
He's not fire resistant, so I don't want to set him on fire.
I wasn't talking about the drow, woman. I mean, unless the drow asks for it.
I'm not big into hurting in that arena. That's your deal.
Enemies, dear. Enemies.
Oh yeah, I don't have any problem setting people on fire.
There you go.
I'll say
It works both ways.
part of this conversation more than likely is happening during your watch.
Yeah, alright.
Phoenix and
So great
fine.
watch.
Wonderful watch.
Phoenix and Diva. I like both of you roll me perception checks for your half of the watch.
I can get different dice. The other one was mead.
You know what? I'm so busy making Phoenix uncomfortable. I rolled a 5.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's not your intention. Your intention right now is to just keep poking the bear a bit.
16.
16. I think no longer displaying the fire and sort of feeling the cool night air upon you, you start to notice that there is this, it almost feels like breathing, where there's like hot air like every 3 minutes. that rushes through the numerous tree line or the trees here in the forest. But
Is
yeah,
it coming from a direction?
Northwards. But you don't hear anything. You know, with your perception check, you don't hear anything. You don't see anything moving out of any of like the trees here that are sort of blocking your view, so that you would see like maybe a source. But you just, the wind that blows past here underneath the canopy, just you feel it occasional. It's not like sweat hot. It is just like
Warm.
it's warm.
Where I'm from, I don't know if this is gonna come into play because she's good at. I forgot what I took for her survival and knowing locations and stuff. Does it remind me of anything from home, like an animal or beast that is big enough to give off that kind of like heat when they're around?
Roll me nature check.
Ooh, natural 20.
Natural
It
20.
rolled off my thing. 21.
You would imagine that anything that has a breath that can sort of cross numerous like yards of tree lines, that can be felt from this distance, would probably be massive. Something that would probably be seen or heard. Something that when it moves, you'd be able to hear like a tree getting scratched upon from a distance, or maybe even falling. It's not that. I think this feels very environmental.
Okay.
Especially since you know that Enburn was or does have a current stable volcano. Occasionally you sort of get those soft eruptions that sort of just let out a wave of heat. It's kind of what you're getting. More natural.
Our cats are being assholes to each other. Sorry.
I saw the tail.
All right. I've mentioned that to Diva, but if I don't think it's a creature, I don't think I'd do anything really about it.
After she mentions it, do I feel like the notice of the warm air?
Yeah, I'll say with Phoenix able to have you focus, like, okay, now it happened, and you start to attune your body a little bit, and you start to feel that soft warmth.
Checking something, so please.
If it was an animal, I was just going to ask her to be like, do you smell anything in that direction?
I was actually saying it because I was just like, I mean, do I smell anything interesting?
Roll me a perception check with advantage. Actually, I'll say roll one more time, because you did roll a 5 for your first perception.
Be
All
right
right,
back.
one more time. Perception, that's going to be an 18.
18. I think you get the soft scent of like burnt ground, like almost like burning brush. But it's not like like, you know how active fire, you start to see like smoke start to arise, almost like if
Amber's smoldering kind of smell.
yeah, almost like it just had like a forest fire just ended and you're getting these soft hints of the remains.
That's an interesting smell, especially looking around us and noticing there's no burning brush around us. All right. And I just asked me, like, when you were in the tree, you didn't see any like fires, did you?
Did I see any fires?
No.
No. Sorry. Kid figured out how to turn off the AC.
We love our baby monk. That's interesting.
It smells like burning?
Smells like the remains of a forest fire.
Maybe that's I was gonna say lizard. Sorry. Maybe that's what it smells like if we're near the dragon corpse? Maybe, I don't know. I've never really been near one.
I would imagine I would smell flesh, but maybe.
But I mean, if it's been here a while, the flesh is probably decayed.
Fair point. At least now we kind of have a direction for the morning.
Yeah. I mean, we'll point it out to the others, whoever takes watch next, just in case it gets worse.
I'm guessing the 2 other remaining party mates.
Yeah.
So the gnome or the tin can? Or both?
I mean, Morris is normally pretty perceptive. And Legati memorizes everything, so I mean, you could tell them both.
All right, let's go wake them both up for next round.
Okay. I'll say that you gather that same information, Legati and Morse, sort of sharing details as it's now your turn for a watch. Yeah, roll me perception checks.
Morse is good at that, right?
Let's hope.
Okay, good.
What'd you get, Legati?
Sure.
A 9.
Got it.
Okay, and then I have expertise on this, so I'm good. 21.
Yeah, I mean, you latch on to what Diva and Phoenix are telling you, and you can smell the same scents. You start to attune, like you start to get Legati and go, no, now you can feel it, and you can sort of feel that wave of heat. So you're definitely having to get helped, Legati, to sort of, feel it. But it's kind of a quiet scene. You can still hear a bit of like rustling in some of the brush around you as sort of nocturnal creatures are going about their day, rats and things of the sort. And I think you start to hear, Morse, a sound of a brush, sort of one of the tree lines, some of the growth, something close to the edge of the camp that you've made here.
I'm gonna look over at Legati and I'm gonna say, "Shh," and I'm gonna point to the direction of the area where I heard the noise come from, and I'm gonna mouth in his direction so that he can see it. I'm gonna mouth breakfast.
I'm just watching. I am being quiet. I'm interested what Morse has in mind here.
Astounded that Legati didn't take the hint, I'm gonna try to spell it out for him, and not like literally spell it out for him, but like illustrate that I want him to sneak on over there to go see what's in the bush making the noise.
So
And
glad
to
I'm
be
asleep right now.
quiet.
I am too.
26 hit points. You do it. I'll use a mage hand and pick up a flaming stick from the fire and move it over there. So the mage hand is 30 feet ahead of me, and I'm slowly moving, but whatever is in there will be illuminated by the fiery stick first. I'm not going very far from Morse.
I love Legati so
as
much.
you start to shift, the fire was always moving.
Yeah.
The stick was always moving, and so you just allowed it to be free.
Yeah,
it
might as well go this way.
starts to float its way in that direction, just giving a soft illumination to wherever it goes. It's not a large radius, as it's just a illuminated stick. And a shadow, small, maybe as large as like a small dog, just jumps from the brush to behind one of the tents where some of the ladies are currently sleeping. And you start to move the stick in that direction. And you see a striped tail, a hand that's currently reaching into a bag, and head turns towards the floating stick, and what you see is the masked view of a raccoon that currently has a handful of, we'll say, Phoenix's morning rations, and just
That little shit.
and then rushes out into the tree line.
I'm gonna mouth off. Well, actually, I'm not even gonna mouth. I'm just gonna say this. Legati, stop that raccoon.
I don't want it out to the raccoon, ate it.
Phoenix got jacked by a raccoon.
Was it just it was just a normal raccoon? It wasn't a supernatural raccoon of any kind?
Forests have normal beasts too.
It's fine,
Yeah,
but
I'm
if you
just
slap the
wondering.
raccoon with your mage hand, it will be hilarious.
I mean, it ran the scary
Legati,
dog,
it's
so-
tempting to
Legati,
go
hurry
more diesel.
up! The raccoon is fleeing, or are you gonna tell me 26 hit points again?
I kind of want him to.
I'm trying to consider if I were in their position, would I rather lose a raccoon handful of rations or be woken from sleep by Toll the Dead? I
don't
say we
wanna
let
be
him have
woken
it.
from sleep.
Phoenix seemed very keen on getting a good night's sleep. Let's just close up all the bags and keep an eye out for any other thieves.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time. It's probably a squirrel's gotten her shit too before.
You know what we could do? You can give me one of your rations. I can put in one of my rations. And we can put those rations in Diva's bag. And then when Phoenix asks what happened to her rations, we'll say, we don't know. We don't have them. But maybe we have a thief among us, and that they should check. And then they'll find the rations in Savannah. Wow. In a Diva's bag. and then chaos. You like chaos, right? Right, Legati?
I
right?
appreciate it. I didn't think you did quite so much.
There's
This
a lot
seems
of
out
things-
of character, Morse.
There's a lot of things you don't know about me.
Like, what did I
Indeed.
do to get more scorn?
Remember, Legati. Laws were made by man, but in nature, there are no men. Ergo, there are no laws.
Is this something your book hero teaches or models for your behavior?
No comment.
Well, I'm just going to sit by the fire. You can rearrange the rations as you like. I want no part of this particular plan. But I won't stop
Fine. I'm just gonna I'm assuming I'm gonna find a tree near the fire, and I'm just gonna sit against the tree,
Okay.
and I'll just continue keeping watch.
The rest of the night goes uneventful as you all wake, all with the benefit of a long rest.
Yay.
Meals are had except for one person.
Oh, that's
Phoenix-
fine. She gets up at 5 a.m., dude. She probably went to go hunt something.
You got some annoying Phoenix. She ran off to go catch fish or something and comes
Yeah.
back.
I mean, I exercise in the vicinity, but yeah.
All right, then I'll say for a brief moment, go ahead and roll me a survival check.
Okay. His turn.
Was that the baby monk or the cats this time?
The monk. That's survival. Oh shit, I have proficient in survival. That makes sense.
What'd you get?
23.
Oh.
She goes
That's
hunting
real
with her
good.
dad.
I'll say that you go through your morning run, looking for a bit of food from the wilds.
Yeah, she just
You do
assumed she
see
ate
the-
that shit and didn't pay attention.
You do
so.
see the remains of a leather wrapping where you would sort of keep like a carrier of sort of like your segmented rations. And so you're like, what the fuck? What is this doing out here? Collect that, and then sort of go the rest of the day, or the morning, I should say, looking for some food. Easy enough to be found. You can describe what you find, whether it's like a rabbit, a bird, or something along the sorts.
I'm not gonna go fish just because the last time I tried to do that, it might have killed me. So I'm gonna.
Yeah, it makes sense considering there's also no like available water source. In the
I think she
vicinity.
brings back like, if you let me, on a 23, we'll say 3 rabbits.
Sure.
And she has skinned them and is trying to cook them. And she will share.
Phoenix.
Phoenix, can I keep the fur?
Oh yeah, here. I was just gonna dry it out anyway.
Phoenix, would you just like to share, and I offer some of my rations?
You can have some of the rabbit if you want. I'm not gonna eat all of it. This time.
That's a lie.
All right. Okay, just offering.
So you guys finish your breakfast, go on for the remainder of your trip here. You start to head further north, and the
She
ground
gives she gives a foot to Legati. You seem like you'd like that.
Oh, wonderful. I take it.
the ground itself, which was fairly lush, there were some small patches of dirt and sort of twigs and such, where your boots snap. You can hear the sound of it becoming a little bit more prevalent, as the ground itself feels more dried. The light smell of like burning wood fills the space, as the chirping and rustling of the wildlife as you continue further north begins to silence, to a point where it's barely audible. Eventually, the tree line starts to become a little less dense as it starts to become more sparse until finally it gives way from the comparison of the lush green to a now charred brown and black space as nature is burned, scarred within this land as the dirt ahead of you still kind of doesn't crackle, but like, you know how like hot air kind of like lifts a few, like some like really small particles, like you just see soft burning dirt and brush just sort of float in the space.
So like ash and soot?
Yeah, a little bit. You look ahead of you, and what you see are the scene of burnt nature. There are several little like stoned huts and structures that look like they weren't large. They were like more individual housing, or maybe like small little structures that were of some significance or importance surrounding a circular space that you found this opening and this clearing in. And right in the middle as a centerpiece, all of that heat is emanating, almost pulsing from what looks to be a full skeleton form of a long dead dragon. The bones still heating up the area and the air. And for anyone who is... Well, now that we've kind of entered in this space, it takes extra effort to breathe. Because it's very much like you don't want to inhale too much, as it can cause some coughing. For anyone who's going to cast a spell that requires verbal components, before you do so, you just need to make me a DC 8 con save. So nothing too heavy or large, but definitely could prove a problem if it gets too low. But yeah, you have to be careful not to inhale too much of the charred earth as you see the ruins and structures and fallen huts.
How much do we need of whatever we're going to get here? Exactly what is our mission regarding the dirt?
You were informed to take a sample of the dirt. It doesn't have to be, anything special. It just has to be within this space. So you can easily just start to scoop up some dirt.
I think we have vials or jars.
Random ass bags. Yeah, I'm filling a bag with using the mage hand, so I don't have to touch the dirt. If I were to use a spell slot for that Sand Nomad Cold Patch, how long does that make me comfortable in hot conditions?
Entire day.
The entire day. Okay, let's ping a first level spell slot so I'm comfortable here. And I'm able to poke around a little bit more because I want to take a closer look at the dragon.
Awesome.
If I like wet a piece of cloth and like use it to cover my mouth, would that kind of dampen like the inhalation of like the heat and smoke?
Sure. Yeah, I think I'll allow that.
Yeah. I'll rip a piece of cloth and like take my water sack and wet it.
The DC 8 con save is not going to interrupt roleplay, but definitely sort of spell crafting where you have to yell out or say it quickly because it's only like 6 seconds in terms of combat. But this also is good advice anyways to be within a space that has charred earth and
don't inhale soot.
Yeah, don't inhale soot.
Might help.
Put on a little mask bandana. I'm like, I'll go with you, Lugatti.
Wonderful. I want to see if there's any part of the dragon skeleton, any small bones that I could take or break off.
Should take a tooth.
Either roll me a survival check or roll me an investigation check. Actually, no, survival seems more right for when it comes to this.
Okay, I'm not terrible at survival.
The Bad Diva just wants to touch it because she feels the heat off of it.
I got a 15 survival.
15. I think what you find is will be more apparent. I think you find like one of the claws. You find like sort of the pinky claw has some particular damage, but it's sort of loose enough where you just have to get a bit of the mage hand. You can put your boot on it and you can kind of like help out your mage hand to snap it off.
It doesn't burn my skin to touch, right?
It feels warm. It feels like you're holding a hot pan that is slowly cooling. It's a lot of like, wrap it up, and it's not going to burn it. It just feels really, really hot.
It may be equivalent of carrying around like plutonium or whatever, but Legati would also do that. So I'm gonna wrap it up and put it in my bag.
Can I like hover my hand over it? Because she's like naturally warm and just see what happens. Like she doesn't want to touch it, but she just kind of wants to see.
First and foremost, I know Diva called out first in terms of what she wanted to do as she went to the dragon. So you wanted to touch the skeletal form of the dragon, Diva?
Yes.
Okay. I will say because you are resistant to fire, it does not immediately burn you. You know, if you held on your hand for this for long enough, it is going to start doing some damage. But for the moments that you have here, and I'll say, Phoenix, you follow suit, sort of holding like a rib cage, while Diva, you're where the neck.
I don't want to touch.
is.
I just kind of like want to feel the difference in heat, like between me and it.
Oh, it's hot. Yeah. It's like putting your hand open over an open flame.
Like, it's definitely hot. I see Legati's getting the tails, so I'm probably not like, should we get more than one for our sake?
Kind of wanted a tooth, but I don't want it to burn through my bag.
Well, looking at Legati, I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, I wrapped it in like a leather scrap. I don't know. Is it igniting that or anything?
Or
No.
scorching.
It may just warp it a little bit, like, you know, where
Yeah.
you leave
That's
out
fine.
something in this daylight and summer where it starts to get a little messed up. But
I'm like, at minimal, it'd be like a heating pad on like cold nights. Yeah?
I wouldn't know. I'm always smart.
So what's the smallest option of something to hold on to? It would be like a tooth, like a claw nail, a tooth.
I feel like a tooth might be big now that I'm thinking about
it might
dragon.
be big. The only reason why Legati is able to wrap his thing is because it's as I described it, it was kind of a damaged pinky claw. So it's not like you got the
shard of a
entirety of
pinky
it.
claw.
Yeah, you got like a shard of it. This thing is gigantic.
Didn't you give Arrow your pickaxe? Can he like pickaxe a piece of bone?
Go for it. I'm going to stand far away and observe.
You know what? Knowing the smart man is walking away, go over there.
Never mind. Bad idea.
Is that what
I'm
you're doing,
just-
Morris?
We'll give it to. Oh wait, Legati, you do with the mage hand.
Yeah, you can do it with the mage hand.
I'm doing it, but I'm
Might
not
be
doing it
strong
with
enough.
I'm not doing it with the pick.
No, you're gonna do it with a hammer?
Mhm.
Okay, we're gonna back up. Never mind. We'll move
Back
Arrow
up, back
out
up,
of the
back up,
way.
back up. Take shelter. Legati stands
Uh,
behind everybody else.
Yeah, no.
Morse had like a realization when he put two and two together in his brain. He's like, huh. You know, it would be really good to hunt necromancers. Something that I could impale them with that'll make them burn. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. And he'll try to like kind of look through the carcass of the dragon. I'm assuming it is like, oof, hot.
Yeah,
right?
it is. It's like you're stepping into a furnace.
Okay, good. That kind of reminds me of home. Not that I ever knew what home was, but in here I do. I'm gonna try to see if there's maybe like a rib bone or something that I might be able to kind of hammer off. Like I'm not trying to crush or grind the bone. I'm trying to break something off.
Yeah. Are you attempting to? So much like a rib cage bone, where it gets thinner the longer it goes, and then if it gets a lot more thicker, where it gets closer to like, you know, sort of where the main structure of the skeletal form is. Are you just trying to like a sliver up, like a little piece where you can hold it and wrap it up and carry it with you, or are you trying to get a big, large piece?
To answer that question would necessitate
Listen,
to
lawyer.
know how long the actual let's say how long is a rib. And I'm not actually trying to be like,
Dragon
Oh,
rib.
it's a dragon.
Yeah.
It's an ancient dragon rib, meaning that believe ancient
Probably
dragons
bigger
are
than you.
considered gigantic.
okay,
Which,
so it's,
yeah.
We were in the rib.
Yeah,
Got
you
it,
can
I got
stand in the. Several people can stand in the rib. You can make a house out of this thing.
okay. So I guess what I'm trying to do in that case is I'm trying to break off a piece that's maybe like half the size of the handle on my hammer. Like
Okay.
maybe
Like 2 to 3 feet.
3 feet.
no, God no. Like I'm thinking something like 8 or 9 inches.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Something like that. Given the size of this thing.
I'll say, to be precise with this, let's go ahead and let's do an athletics check.
Yeah. If it makes it easier, if picking off a larger piece so that I can help everyone else at the same time will make this easier, I could do that.
Legati, have you ever played dominoes?
Sure.
Like the actual game, or like where you set it up and then you touch one and then the rest of it falls?
I find the game boring, but knocking over a bunch of dominoes is quite exhilarating.
How do
Okay.
you find dominoes boring? We used to play at the bar all the time.
You said athletics, right?
Yeah, athletics.
Yeah, that'll be a natural 20.
A natural 20. Yeah, I think it's this discussion is happening because it is going to take you a little bit to sort of get to make sure that it doesn't crack away and sort of ruin the amount you're trying to
Phoenix is hoping this
Remove?
isn't dominoes right now.
snaps off and you're got it. It is hot to the touch, even though you are fire resistant. It's the only reason why you're not getting burned immediately. It's hot potato.
Is there okay, so how far am I away from the group?
I would assume 30, 40 feet.
Okay, I'm gonna hot potato my way around until I get about 10 feet away from them. As I'm walking towards them, I'm going to say, clear a path. And then as soon as they kind of back away, I'm gonna hot potato in the center so that we can figure out how we're gonna transport this thing and what we're gonna, or I guess how much of it they want so that we can all have dibs on the parts we want.
You got an 8 to 9 inch piece?
Well, I say if it would have been easier to get 2 feet of it so that we can have enough for everyone, I could do that if that makes it easier. That's what I was trying to ask before. I own for myself, I'm looking for something that's maybe 9 inches. But if everyone else wants, hey, phrasing. If anybody else wants to, if anybody else wants a piece of it, all I got to do is ask.
I'm good, thanks.
Phoenix is gonna slap you in game.
I don't know. I'm gonna throw it at Phoenix.
Wait.
Well,
No,
once it's me.
I think I can. If you only got that size, I'm trying to remember how long her corset was that got ripped by the thespian. You could probably just wrap it in this. I'm not gonna wear it again.
We could put it in the rabbit's fur, taking out the fur I took from Phoenix.
I know, but you could try that out and make something cute out of that. This is
I'm still planning
Slash.
to. Cooper. I'm like,
Look, I just need to know if this is enough length for everyone.
bump.
We've been hanging out Diva
Come
too
on,
long.
mind out the gutter.
Yeah, I mean, how do you plan on splitting it?
You can shave bone. It'll take you a while. Mars, I'm gonna hit you over the head with this staff.
I'm gonna pick it up and throw it at you.
I mean,
I'm
if
trying
I
to help
really,
us all here.
but I mean, if I really wanted to, I could just take a piece of the Legati's piece.
I think we probably have enough oddly warm dragon bone.
I'm gonna see.
Arrow's just banging his head into a tree.
Oh, just pick up a bunch of the dirt and insulate the bone in the
Isn't
dirt
the
and put it in
hot
like a bag.
too?
Ooh, clever. See, that's
Because
why
the
you're
dirt isn't
brains.
hot on its own. It's only heated up because of the
there
concentrated
you go.
dragon bone, so it'll insulate. Yeah.
Speaking of which, aren't we supposed to be collecting the dirt as well?
I thought
I think we
Legati
got
did.
enough- Yeah.
Oh.
I got some, but if
I mean, I
Moore's
could get
here
some more
wants to carry
dirt.
around a giant bag of dirt all the way home, who's to stop him?
I'll
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
say with
Whole bag of
Phoenix, you
dirt.
calling out Arrow sort of banging his head on the wall. The only walls are the stone structures here, and he just sort of walks to one, just hits it.
Not the face.
I will say there are 3 prominent looking stone structures that still look intact.
Could we
Yeah,
go?
Legati
look
wants to check those out for sure.
at-
I will help.
Sure.
I have historical knowledge, can identify original purpose and builders of a ruin or dungeon. because of my archaeologist background.
I will
This should
say,
go to the ruin, right?
Seems ruined.
let's see here. Then I think with that in mind, with that sort of skill that you have, Legate, we can actually label what these 3 buildings are, and then you guys can choose to investigate if you wish.
Great.
So the first one, which is sort of far to the northwest, it looks like it's almost like a half floor, and it just immediately starts to go down. You look down there, and let's see here. It does look like a living dwelling. So this is a home. So you see that there is a home.
Mm-hmm.
The second structure, which is directly north of the charred body, or the bones, I should say, that one is interesting. It actually has like a stone door that has been closed. You gotta say, like, obviously, unless you have to open it, you're not able to get a full assessment. But we can say that you know this is an important structure. Must be, because all the other ones don't really have doors. This one's the only one that does. And the last one, you see that there are burnt remains of helmets and leathered armor that is currently dried and stripped, and you just see the remains of it. This looks like a portion of an armory. So we have the home, important structure, and armory.
Legati points those out with his quarterstaff. That was a home, some kind of important structure, armory. How far away are these buildings from each other? Approximately.
I'll say we'll make it very even and say 60 feet. That
Okay,
might
so
actually
we're
not
not
be the case,
suicide if we split up.
No.
Yeah.
They may not even be that far away, but
Okay.
that's an approximate.
Yeah. 60 or less is fine. Legati he says, I'm going to check out the closed door there if anyone wants to come with me. Other buildings are probably also worth investigating while we're here.
I'll go with.
Mom,
We're going to
Morse.
the important structure.
Morris and Phoenix, where you guys headed to?
You want to check out the armory?
I was issued a command. Come on, Morse. So I am obeying command. Don't ask me where. I'm not the decision maker. I am the follower.
You have a thought, right?
No, I have a bag of dirt with a big hot bone in it.
Armory. All right, let's go to the armory.
Oh, you set me up for that perfectly. What do you want me to do?
We'll do the easiest one. So you guys head to the armory. It, much like the dwelling, it does go down like half a step and then starts to go into sort of this underground cavern space where you can see that there are scattering of large helmets that have been sort of rolled off to the side. They're definitely hot to the touch, but because both of you are fire resistant, it's not like you can get immediately burned. It's just like, damn, that is going to burn if I hold on too long. Both of you roll me investigation checks.
Like, what is my investigation?
Mine is going to be a flat 13.
Okay.
15.
15, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you start to go through sort of like there are these wooden tables that look like they've collected a bunch of dust and soot. And there are remains of armor here. And it's not like well put together armor. It looks like a hodgepodge of different parts, whether it is bone and hide, bits of wood that have been sort of sewn together to make as well as armament as they can. Whoever lived here, whatever civilization existed here. I'll say with the 15, what you start to track is a lot of the armor here is almost like equestrian. It's large enough where it can fit over horses. And then I think with that sort of knowledge shared, Morris, you would remember that Joshua informed you that the followers of the dragon were centaurs.
Horse people. Centaurs, the horse people. That's who this is. And with that realization, he's immediately gonna put the bag of dirt down, like pat it to make sure that it's secure and not gonna go anywhere. And he's immediately gonna see if there's anything of interest here. Would Joshua have told Moors anything more about the centaurs? I.e., were they advanced? Were they known for anything? Were they good at anything? That sort of thing?
He doesn't. I don't think he would have told you that because one, this happened when he was a kid.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how old does this stuff look?
Either it was before his time or he was a very young kid. I don't think he would tell you that, or he knows that information. All he would inform you is that the old forward guard fought an ancient red dragon, destroyed it, as well as the centaur cultists, or not cultists, but like followers, I should say.
Got it. So then, with that potential out of the way, another potential. Battles were fought here. There might be something valuable here.
You did investigate already.
Mm-hmm.
So unfortunately, with those particular roles, you don't find anything of direct interest.
Can I take a piece of, I don't know if it's like a table or whatever. She just wants to take a piece of like the wood here.
Yeah, that's fine.
For carving later.
Our vision shifts over to Diva, and I'll say Arrow's following along, as well as Legati, as you guys go to the stone door. It is currently shut, closed. How do you proceed?
Just because instinct brain, it says like try to open the door. I'm assuming it's going to be hot, but
yeah, roll me a con save.
Oops.
That is going to be an 11.
Okay. You take not 7, but you take 3 points of fire damage.
Ouch.
As you're resistant, but it's not locked or anything, and it definitely takes a lot of like back muscle, which you do have, to sort of finally open it and immediately get a rush of hot air. But there, in front of you, there is a moving platform, like it's swaying because of the hot air that just escaped. Something disturbed it. And there is a crank. There is a intricate rope system. I think with your expertise, Legati, this is like a crank elevator.
It would go down, right? There's nowhere for it to go up.
It would go down, which makes sense to you if you knew this was like a centaur civilization. Stairs is definitely a precarious situation, so might as well have sort of a system for that.
It seems the ruins continue underground. Likely to be uncomfortable, but potentially not looted because of that.
Do you want to go now, or do you want to go grab the other two?
Like, look over at what they're doing.
there
Find
any-
anything good over there?
Not really. Old armor.
There's an elevator. You want to come?
Yeah, why not?
I'm a lootin'.
I don't know what you're not a whore. Never mind. Want to go?
Picking up burnt pieces of armor, making a big pile.
She took the piece of wood she wants to carve with. I'm good. Let's go.
Potential loot this way, friends.
Loot.
Legati knows how to motivate people to wander into places that they don't appreciate the history of quite as much as him. But, there is often things to loot in addition as things to learn there. So
I just tell Legati, I'm like, good. I didn't want to crank the elevator.
Yeah, we can make Moors do it.
We're making her do it.
Make Moors do what? As I come in carrying the bag of dirt.
Hey, big guy, can you crank that?
Wait, what do you mean by big guy? Are you talking
Crank.
about the size
That
of
was
this
not the part of the
bag and
sentence
its
I was.
dirt?
Yeah, that's what I.
Subverting
Could
your
probab-
expectations. That's what I'm doing.
could probably leave the bag here. I think we'll be back this way.
Let's hope so. I don't feel like having a collapsed cave.
I can carry this bag. It's fine. It's not that heavy. But yeah, what do you need what do you need me for? What?
Well, that seems to be an elevator that looks like it descends below the ground here. It's awful hot in there, so it's possible that it has gone unlooted thus far. So it could be promising to explore if everyone's game.
Great. What are we waiting for? Let's go.
That's the attitude I like to hear. I let Morris go first.
Great. I just get on the elevator.
Okay.
Anyone else
Anything
joining
happen?
Morris?
Just-
No,
yeah.
he
No.
jumps on the elevator. You feel a little
Okay.
bit of that sway, but it does hit sort of the walls that are surrounding it.
Perfect.
Well, come on, guys. What are you waiting for?
Is it look big enough for all of us?
It looks like it's big enough to hold like 2 fully grown centaurs.
Okay.
So if you guys can squeeze, because you don't have like a horse body that takes extra space.
Yeah, we're probably fine. Let's all get on.
No horses' asses here.
Yeah.
As far as we're aware.
Not yet. Legati hasn't turned into one.
Give little Dottie some time.
Probably on the list.
Probably on the list. And you start to release the brake here, Morris. Very simple sort of structure here as you start to feel immediately the structure you're on starts to sway a little bit, almost jerk a little bit, hitting some of the stone walls. It's definitely a weird feeling. It's like being on the bus without holding a pole to keep yourself steady. It's a lot of like hands on shoulders to make sure that you all stabilizing each other. And then eventually you hit the base. And your path goes forward. Immediately what you see is almost like a soft antechamber. It's not very big. You can actually see that it extends outwards and then goes into like a T-junction. So there is a little mini room ahead of you, and then it goes into a T-junction where it goes left and then right. But immediately what you see is broken clay pieces, like these little shards on the floor, and there are small pedestals that are holding clay pots, except for one that has been fallen over and is currently cracked.
Is it dark down here?
It is.
Can I
All of us can see. in the
produce
dark,
flame
or-
in my
yeah.
hand?
Yeah. That certainly helps. It's uncomfortably hot for everybody else? I got my cold patch, so.
I think it's kind of steamy.
I'm kind
Yeah,
of used to
The only
it.
person who's really kind of feeling it right now is probably Arrow, who's just like, this sucks down here.
Yeah, that's a shame.
And I'm gonna say, at least it wasn't as bad as that portal. Remember that portal? That portal was horrible. This is not that bad. And I'm just
Portal
gonna
was
start going forward.
Interesting. Said there's one unbroken pot thing down here?
There are 3 unbroken pots, and there's one that has been broken.
Oh, that fell down. Okay. I want to look in the broken pot, see if there's any sense of what was in it.
Is there anything distinguishable about the pots, like interesting markings or something?
Yeah, I think you start to get closer. There are soft flaked. It's starting to flake away due to the heat, but it looked like there had been painting and markings on it. Everyone can roll me an investigation check. We could do a group thing.
Can I just give advantage to somebody if I like lit a torch so
Sure.
people could see?
Arrow will
I'll
give
take
someone.
the advantage.
I'll also give Diva. You'll get advantage from Arrow.
All right,
I rolled the flat 16.
that is going to be a 19.
Does Artificer's lore apply? I guess that's a history check, not an investigation. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
24 then with advantage.
Yeah, I think Legata, you go straight to the broken pot.
I'm just holding the torch over so you can see.
Thank you. Very helpful.
Yeah, and you have to like pick up the pot, and there's still like most of the base still is there, so you have to sort of pick that up, and some shards fall out, laying it on the ground, and start to maybe even getting some of the shards and putting them together like a puzzle piece. So you sort of get an idea. There's nothing in it. There was nothing in it, or whatever it did held. Whatever it was inside has either been taken or gone. You start to look at it, and it shows the depiction of a centaur, sort of the horse body with a sort of humanoid frame in front, with hands up in the air, where there's a depiction of flame in its hands, it's almost like hieroglyphs, where it's like it shows like a picture and then it shows like the next picture, like it's telling a story. The next scene is that the centaur holding the flame close, walking. It's walking to something, but unfortunately, due to how it broke, there are certain sections of the clay pot that have either been made into dust where you can't really collect the rest of the details, but it's walking to something and laying the flame somewhere on the ground against some sort of object. It's hard to tell exactly what, but you do see that there is marking on top of the rim. Looks like lettering. Does anyone here speak Draconic?
Afraid not.
Not to fear. Let me double check. No, not even arrow. There are some words here, but unfortunately it escapes a lot of your attention.
I'll remember them, write them down, find somebody that speaks Draconic later.
Do you want to take it?
I'm like, it's broken piece of shard.
Yeah, I assumed we were taking everything we could carry out of here.
Okay.
Fair enough.
With the 16 and 19 everyone else's rolls, the first pot that you run across that Legati just went straight to, no, negated that one, but you see that there is a depiction of a dragon. Can't really tell the color because it's just sort of painted in black, of a dragon laying waste to a mountainside. You could see almost like the etching of some sort of breath weapon against a mountain cliffside. And there are humanoids, centaur-like silhouettes raising their spears in celebration. The next one reads, or showcases roll me a history check. I'll say Phoenix, Morse, and Diva. Actually, no, not you, Phoenix, because you're currently helping Legati.
Oh, can he get advantage?
No, Legati's not rolling for this one. Yeah.
Sorry.
Let's see.
Yeah, it says you can recall general layout of terrain, settlements, and other features around you, but I don't think this applies to this.
Oh, that's gonna be a dirty 20.
Flat 13.
Okay. I think because you've seen him fairly recently, because you guys just had an interaction with some of the peacekeepers from Outslock. There is like the armored helmet, shoulders, design of maybe some old guard, not old guard, but like old peacekeepers back in the day, like maybe like old designs you may have seen in a book somewhere. But you get a sense like it's like Outslock peacekeepers back in the day, with spears outwards and just killing a dragon. You see the form of the dragon dead. Then you would get to the gaudy one, where it is centaurs holding a flame and carrying it and bringing it something to the ground. And the last one shows a dragon burning a city, and within its arms holding sort of a pile of ill-gotten gains and heading towards a forest.
That's interesting. So this land was of centaurs? And the city killed the dragon. Or tried to kill the dragon.
I know there was a fight, but I don't know much beyond that.
I mean, Obadiah never talked about this, so it's not really helpful. I wish there was something in his book or something. But Forward Guard would probably know. At least the older ones.
I pick up the jar. There's nothing in it, like, if I, like, switch it around or anything.
Yeah, you don't hear anything.
Fuck.
I find it weird that they worship the dragon, or at least seemed like they did.
Dragon might have been an ally, protector.
Maybe. Not unheard of. Just, it's not the norm.
But if that's the case, what did all this?
I don't know. Maybe when the forward guard killed it, did something. I don't know if they fought centaurs or the dragon killed the centaurs or what.
Anything else in the antechamber?
There's nothing else in here, just the jars.
Yeah, just these jars.
There's no footprints or anything like somebody else has been down here.
Yeah, roll me a survival check.
+5 is 23.
23. There are numerous, like, now caked in and dried within the dirt path here, footsteps, like going back and forth. You can see, like, there are steps over steps over steps over steps over step. Some of them, the older imprints look like horse hoofs, but the newer ones over them look like boots, and bipedal forms.
Suppose we should move on and see if there's anything of value left somewhere in here.
We still have to check the house.
Just keep your eyes open if we're not the only ones that have been down here. Probably wouldn't be the only ones back to it.
And most importantly, keep your eyes out for loot.
All right.
Onward!
What is our marching order?
I can go in front.
All right, you can have 2 people up front if you'd like. So it's like 10 feet wide.
I'm going.
Okay, we have Phoenix
Loot.
and Morris leading the way. Who's behind them?
I guess I'll go behind them.
Yeah, I can be behind them, and then Arrow can watch our back, if that works for everybody.
I would like Phoenix and Morris just to make me perception checks.
That'll be 17 for me.
Yep.
Same. 14 + 3.
You guys are walking together, and almost at the same time, both of you feel something snap.
Shit.
You look down and see the last remains of what looks to be like almost like a quarter of an inch off the floor, something like a soft little translucent wire just from your weight, from both of you. DC was 18. Goes into the walls to left and right. You hear something immediately shake, and everyone.
You do audibly hear me say shit the moment I step on this wire.
Everyone takes 7 points of fire damage, except for those who are resistant. Instead, you take only 3.
Okay.
Most of the crew.
Most of the crew.
Except for the back 2. The front
Except for
3 are
some of
okay.
us.
Yeah. The something off inside the walls shook the walls and the ceilings and the floors a little bit, and some of the burning earth falls on top of the crew.
Oh.
You all get a sense that this was not the worst of it. Maybe time has worn away a little bit of the collective heated dirt that was here. So yeah, it's not as worse as it could have been. It's still pretty bad.
You okay back there?
It's like brushing all the dirt off. Let's maybe be slightly more careful going forward.
Okay. Check for traps.
You were at a T-junction. Do you go left or right?
Legati, left or right?
Left.
I go left.
I will attempt to check for traps.
Yeah, that too. First.
I have to look at Legati. It's like, why left?
Why not?
Can I give Morris advantage?
Yeah, you can get advantage. Morris, go roll me a perception check.
That'll be a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You turn the corner and you're keeping a keen eye out in front of you, around you, just to ensure that you don't step on another tripwire. Ahead of you, as you take a left and sort of walk a few feet, you see it opens up into what looks to be what you can assume to be a garden room. This once held vegetables and other food for the clan here. There are like metallic tables that are like wired tables that used to hold like wooden boxes. You can see there are wooden boxes here that have been clearly labeled like as carrots and onions, beets, and other sort of grown vegetable here. But currently all the vegetation has been dried away and dead and decayed. You don't see anything concerning right now in your view until you walk a little bit further in and you look towards sort of the far end of the room. There is this shifting like part of the wall. It seems very unnatural. It seems like a shifting black like ozone, like this almost semi-translucent black wave of energy.
I'm gonna be quick to point that out to my party. Weird wall, magic, unnatural, check.
Got it. Right in your realm of things.
Yeah, I mean, Legati will step forward towards the wall.
Yeah, I won't make a roll for this. I think what you get is this is more than likely some sort of like protection. It definitely sort of screams draconic, like a draconic energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's very much abjuration, where it is protecting this section of the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's as much as we can quickly glean, especially since this is within your realm.
Yeah, I say that out loud. I say some sort of protection spell seems possibly draconic in nature. Can we tell, is it like protecting a passageway? Or can we not see through it, or what?
You can see a soft through the illumination, or not through the illumination that Phoenix is currently holding. You can see that it continues forward, but you place a hand and it does not allow you pass.
Any other exits from this room?
No, other than the this blackened barrier. That's sort of the dead end you have here.
Can I investigate the wall in the area, see if there's like a switch or a lever to like turn this off, just in case?
Yeah, roll investigation check.
Anybody find it weird that they have a gardening room underground? There's no sun.
That is a 24 investigation. That's my thing.
Let's see. Okay. I think what you gather, there is like numerous handprints on the side of this blackened wall. You don't see any switches. You don't see any of that. I think what you glean from that roll is numerous figures have pressed their hands against this section of the wall. Whether that means to push or maybe to get close to it, it's hard to tell the specifics, but you do know that individuals have gotten so close to this wall that it doesn't seem like a concern.
Okay.
Yeah, but you don't see any like off switch.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I touch the wall in the same spot to see if anything happens.
Nothing activates.
Yeah. I tell everybody there's handprints on the wall, but I don't see any obvious way to turn it off.
Maybe you have to be a centaur or someone who speaks Draconic.
Can I like
Disappointing, if so.
throw a pebble or something and try and throw it through it and see what happens?
Bounce it back.
Huh. Okay, so it literally just keeps you out. I thought it might, like, I don't know, kill you or something. Try to walk through it, but you know.
We can try going the other way.
I don't think
Hey.
we have a choice. Oh,
What if you put like the bone through it? Like, I don't know, it's like remnants of the dragon.
Oh,
Would that work?
that's true.
like that idea?
I mean, not to say that he fit in here, but I mean, if it's a draconic spell, maybe.
All right, so who's gonna be brave enough to hold the dragon bone long enough?
I'll do it.
I mean, you could just unwrap part of it. You don't have to unwrap the whole thing.
Or is it too heavy for your mage hand, Lagadio?
I mean, the small one wouldn't be too heavy for my mage hand.
So let's try that first.
Okay.
Give me Morse.
I don't have the small one.
Who has
Yeah,
the small
I
one?
got the small one. So I'll take the small piece of bone out and I put it in the mage hand. Mage hand floats forward. Point of the bone first.
Hits a wall.
Okay. Fire, potentially. The fire offerings the centaurs were making.
I throw a produce flame at it.
And you push it into the wall.
Yeah, well, I can throw it. I can throw it as a spell attack.
It crashes against the wall. No real effect.
Maybe you gotta perform that whole ritual.
It's just the first
I
room,
like-
guys.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to like peer through. I don't like not being able to get into a place.
You see it continues forward
I break out
for
and
some
break
time,
in.
and then it seems like it curves off to the right. But in between the end of the hall, there's another sort of turn you can make.
Yeah. All right, let's backtrack, go the other way. Maybe it connects up somewhere.
I mean, hold on. Maybe we just need a dragon of some sort here. I'm like, Lagadi, you can change into other things. Why don't you change it to a dragon?
On my list, but I cannot currently do that. I'm working towards that. Believe me, if I could be a dragon, you think I would just hang out like this all the time?
I mean, you could also be a wolf, but you're not a wolf.
Excuse
It's kind
you.
of taken already. I don't want to copy other people in the group.
Fine, you could be a bird. We
All right,
already
I
have
will
other-
eventually, but for now, let's go that way.
All right, let's go that way.
You backtrack to the T section. Instead of left, you head right. This goes on carefully.
Yeah, carefully.
I'll keep that the 20 roll currently. We'll see if that changes. But you continue right. This goes on for a little bit as you walk for about maybe 40 feet. And then eventually you meet another T junction. So we're kind of like going this way, going right. So if you were to go look to your left currently, you see that it continues on for a very long time until you see at the end of this long hallway, there are these large metallic doors, like a double door. But to the right of you, immediately, as it doesn't extend to a hallway, you see that there are the remains of what looks to be a barracks. There is a bit of a cave-in happening. It's almost like bowed ceiling a little bit. And piercing through the ceiling are some of the other bone pieces of the dragon.
Oh.
So it's bowed a little bit. There used to be a pillar in the middle, but you see the remains of the pillar currently shattered. There are also 4 well-decorated pillars at the corners of this room. All of them with like different designs and features. And there are sleeping bags, as well as sort of like these little foot lockers at the end of the sleeping bags. And sleeping spaces, there's like these little cots as well. It seems like this is where a lot of like the centaur sort of laid down for the day.
Hmm.
Is there anything cool in there?
Perception or investigation, I'll allow.
I'll help Lagadi. He's good
All
at
right.
investigation.
I'll go in and start poking stuff with the quarterstaff, the turning stuff over with the mage hand, just kind of rummaging through this
Rummaging
place.
through.
I will rummage through the other area, the other corner, with a perception.
Arrow-
That is a.
Air will
Go
give
ahead.
you advantage, Morse.
I got a 22 investigation. Lagadi is in his element, poking
Yeah.
around this
Very
ruined
much
place,
so.
investigating stuff.
I got a 23.
Okay.
Thank God for that. That
So
advantage.
there are a couple of things to look at that sort of capture your attention. First and foremost, you see another one of those black walls, sort of like a little black entry space, sort of like oozing translucent black energy of draconic source, just sort of off in the southern area of this room. So that definitely catches your attention. There are these intricate looking pillars. There are 4 of them that scatter around in the corners, as well as the footlockers that sort of are currently closed that can be opened. I'll say with a combined roll of you guys going through some of the beddings, you don't really find anything of interest. You find like small little knickknacks and trinkets, something that's not really of monetary value, but just sort of maybe personal value. I will ask one of you to choose the pillars and the other one to choose the footlockers.
Moors, you go first.
Lockers.
You go to the first one and you find a stack of gold.
Loot, baby, let's go.
All right, there we go.
You grab onto the top end just to sort of feel it, and the entire stack goes with you, as it looks like the gold has melted into one single stack.
Oh, shit.
That's
Yes! Yes! Oh my god, we can melt this down further and make our own money. Oh, yes.
Mega gold.
Mega gold.
You find a congealed gold stack worth 15 gold pieces.
You mean one solid ultra
One
gold
solid
ingot.
15 gold piece.
No. One solid ultra gold.
We had Taco Bell in the last campaign. Now we have Ultra Gold.
Ultra gold.
I think
What's a
let's
Taco Bell?
we can have everyone else sort of weigh in here too. So I think this is sort of a combined thing of more so you're directing people because there's a lot of boxes. So you're kind of getting everyone to get involved. So you find the single stack, the ultra gold. Diva, you go through some of the full lockers and you find a leather-bound book that has the words "The Herd" on the cover.
Mm-hmm.
You start to sift through the pages, and it is soft details about how the herd has shifted between the western shores of the Handle Woods to the very edge of the Shoulder Mountains, and how the herd would walk and hunt throughout the forest. There are notes about an adult red dragon who came to claim the city and hid in the woods to plan and recruited the herd. Those who disagreed with the dragon were eaten, and those who recognized its power were given the power of the burning tongue. And you read on the very bottom of it as, let's see, what was their name? You see, all will lay waste upon our mistress, the sore sill of the burning tongue.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and keep the book on me, so I'm gonna just kind of slip it in my bag.
And then you would recognize that the last entry was a few days prior to the fight between this followers of Sorcy and the old forward guard.
Can you give me that name one more time, DM? The mistress of the what?
Sorcy of the burning tongue.
Thank you.
And Phoenix, you start to go through some of the footlockers as well upon the sort of instruction, or at least following sort of the path that Morris is going. You find also a bound book, but it's not leathered. The book itself, as you start to thumb through it, starts to crumble in your hand due to the dryness in the air, and it's just sort of been weather worn and destroyed a little bit.
Mhm.
And the binding falls into your hand as the bit of paper blows away. It is this light blue fabric, very long fabric. And on one end of the fabric, it has a golden needle. And on the other end of the fabric, it has a golden ring.
Okay.
And that's what's inside of the boxes. Legati, you go to the four corners, the pillars. There are like placards next to each one of them. One of them reads, "My sister sits to the north of the bounty. Those who share a scream will be given passage. The next one reads, my brother sits to the south of the collections. Those who share a cool breeze will be given passage. The third one reads, I stand first where dreams are held. A whispered secret will open the door. And the fourth one reads, I stand second. Beyond the bits and baubles, a shared meal will open my door. And I will post that.
Thank God. I was like, I didn't write that fast.
All right. This is extremely Legati's shit. He's reading all of them. He's saying out loud. He's muttering as he's like, okay, so where dreams are likely here in the barracks and potentially. Like he's trying to figure out what it would apply to. I'm waiting for you to post so he can, yeah. All right. It's north of the, what was the other, north of the bounty. I always know which direction is north. From the garden room, was the door, the black door was north of that?
That's correct.
All right, I got this.
So ready to go scream at a door?
Well, we can try this one first. This one must be the, I would assume, where dreams are held. Anyone have a secret they're particularly dying to whisper to a door? I have plenty.
I mean, like, if you guys stay back here.
Legati backs up and gives you respectful distance to whisper a secret to the door.
I hovered to the door and I had it and I thought about it. It's all like, I tell the door what actually happened of why I'm out and I left home.
Yeah. You get close to the door, whisper it out, and that black, translucent sort of energy just starts to raise. And you see that there is a path that curves out of view, but it continues forward.
Okay, you can come out.
Legati's applauding.
Good work.
Very well done.
Should have told it someone else's secret now that I think about it, but it's okay.
Should we go in while it's open?
Yeah. Check for traps.
Check. Roll me
Check
perception
for
checks.
traps.
Sure, we're fine now. We're beyond the magical security door. No need to trap this area.
That is only a 12.
18.
10.
18 will be enough. There are pressure plates just as you sort of curve around. This place definitely does not have the bipedal impacts of footprints. This one doesn't seem like it was searched at all. As you continue forward, there's like this thin layer of like this raised tile that you catch, stop everyone, and step over. Just as you enter in this room, it looks like a worship space where there are burnt, like all the wax has been melted into a small soft puddle. It's still warm enough where it keeps the wax liquid. This place once held some candles where it was lit. There was sort of like a sitting space with a bunch of pillows, large enough where like a centaur can kneel. And there is a stone structure on the eastern side of this room that looks like a dragon's head.
Cool.
And to the north of this dragon's head, there is another black wall.
Oh. Okay, I stand.
Is this the meal one?
What direction is the cardinal direction? Is it from where we are, or
North?
It's north. Okay.
Yeah.
So Legati's just reciting the things again. So I stand first where dreams are held. I stand second beyond the bits and baubles. This couldn't qualify as bits and baubles, could it?
I don't think so.
No. But we're facing north, so do we scream at the dragon's head?
Can't possibly hurt, right?
I
Do
just
you
start.
want to scream? Yeah.
I just start screaming.
You scream and your voice almost reverberates back louder. Sort of, you have to close your ears a little bit.
I don't think it
Okay,
was
it hurt a
that
little bit. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, didn't hurt.
And then something comes out of the throat of the dragon statue's mouth. As it is a soft, like not soft, but it's a round wooden ball that has like etchings on it in Draconic,
I go get the ball.
Hmm.
What was you saying about baubles, though?
I stand second beyond the bits and baubles. A shared meal will open my door.
Do we go through the mouth?
Will the try the touch the door with the ball?
Push door, the ball with door.
I mean, I could,
Okay, no bad ideas. Let's brainstorm here.
I'm gonna go put a piece of rabbit jerky in its mouth.
make me a deck save.
Oh, that was almost a natural 20. It rolled. Save?
Save.
Oh, I'm good at that. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Then you do not take any damage as you release the food, and you start to hear as the mouth closes shut. You get your hand out, it's like mere moments before it got, was able to crunch down on your hand. There's a moment as it stays still, and as it opens its mouth back to like a default setting, that black wall dissipates.
Ah.
Well done. Everyone's doing so well today. We're very good at this.
Onward to loot.
It's not a big room. As you peer through that second black wall within this space, it is a low podium. It's like not podium, but like maybe pillar. It's a low pillar that only goes up like maybe a foot. It's not very long. And there are two circling orbs currently above the pillar.
That's a you thing, Legati.
What are the orbs made of?
Both of them. Let me see if there is a written description. I was going to immediately say that it was stone, but I will double check. It is a stone. It is a multicolored, like almost a kaleidoscope of colors on each one.
Ooh.
Sort of like it's like on a
Pretty.
white background, just like splatters of red, blue, yellow, greens.
And they're orbiting as if by magic or on a lever or something.
Yeah, they're orbiting off. Nothing's touching them. They're just like full on magical.
And nothing on the pedestal itself.
Not that you can see.
Are they how are they compared to the wooden ball with draconic etchings on it? Roughly same size ballpark, or?
Yeah, roughly around the same size. And I think what's perfect now because of what you are now, Legati, roll me a history check with advantage.
All right.
So we either need to scream at it or give it
Oh.
a cool breeze.
Cool breeze.
I didn't roll that well, but I'm very good at it. So that's a 14.
14. I mean, that's perfect. So what we got here, you see two magic items, both of them Stone of Good Luck, or a Luck Stone.
Oh,
Mm.
Just
that's what those things are. Okay. Do you
Maybe.
think anything bad will happen if we just take them?
Well, maybe if you give it a breeze, like they'll just fall. I don't know, because they're up there. I don't know. What
The
direction?
breeze thing was my brother sits to the south of the collections, those who share a cool breeze. There's no black door in here, right?
No.
Yeah.
Maybe you can try
I could
taking
just-
one with the mage hand.
Yeah, I could just grab it with the mage hand. I'm just wondering what the point of the pedestal is.
Maybe you gotta give like a trade?
Can we try the wooden draconic ball?
Oh, you put it in the pedestal area?
If Diva's okay with that. I will do it with the mage hand while I stand back.
You let go. The wooden ball falls like a foot and then flies back up and starts to rotate.
Oh, crap.
Now it's like 3 balls just woof, 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 woof.
But one of them's just a wooden ball.
But one of them is just a wooden ball.
All right, fair trade. I think I can take one now. Right?
There's the left one and now the right one. Now it's like you're trying to capture like there's a left and the right.
Yeah.
What a good luck rock.
Mage hand, try to grab one of the good luck rocks.
Okay. We'll say you get the left one. It goes away from whatever's holding it aloft. The other 2 start to correct themselves, and now the wooden ball's on the left, the luck stone's on the right. But you have a luck stone in your mage hand.
All right, so I got one.
Round in the room.
Well, maybe it just sticks it up there.
Yeah, do we have like another ball or something we could give it? I have my ball bearings, but I don't think they're quite the right
Same
size. Or I could just take the other one and see what happens, but
What was it you were saying? There's no wrong answers?
no bad ideas. There's
Nope.
certainly wrong answers, as we will find out. But who's feeling greedy?
I like
Except
money.
for-
I like money.
Come on,
Um,
no bad ideas.
Can I investigate the perimeter of this room and look for, like, I don't know, holes through which fire or spears or similar things would fire?
Roll me
At
an
a person?
investigation check. Yeah.
Okay.
You're looking for traps.
Can I help?
Yes.
Sure. Yeah, you can get help.
Thank you for your help. Then that is a 23 with help.
23. I think your search with the assistance of Phoenix, who's able to look at the
She's
ceiling and
zooming
you're able to look
around
at the
the
floor.
Yeah.
You don't see that there is like any slits or grooves that would indicate something releasing or expelling.
Mhm.
This room, as far as you can tell, you don't know for certain, but does not look trapped.
How high
Okay.
up are these things? Like, out of curiosity.
They're like 4 feet up.
Oh, I could just like hop up and get one.
Well, I mean, it's floating 4 feet up. Literally, you could just grab. You don't even have to jump.
I feel like whatever we do, there should be as few of us as possible in this room when we try it, right?
So do
I
you
mean,
want
I
to
have-
back out and use the mage hand again?
I have several fist-sized rocks on my inventory because I transmute them into different materials as needed. Can I try to put a fist-sized rock on the pedestal?
You can certainly try.
Uh-oh. What if I
Alright,
put a piece of gold?
Is it more than 30 feet? Like, if I stood in the other room, could I mage hand
You could,
into that
yeah.
room?
Yeah, again,
All right,
as I mentioned before,
everyone
it's not a
back
big
up.
room. Yeah.
Probably don't stand directly in front of the snapping dragon head as well.
Yeah.
Keep your eye on that.
I mean, before you do that, shouldn't we just try to give it a cool breeze and see what happens?
Go for it.
Anyone has like a fan? Wind?
No.
I'm surprised Errol doesn't have anything.
I'm looking at our sheet. Let's see.
Gust of wind. Nobody ever takes
He
gust
I
of
has-
set
wind.
things on fire. It's not really like a
he's got feather and fog cloud.
That's not weird.
I mean, but
Fog cloud
I'll
obscures
take out
things.
my simple servant's dress from my bag and give it to Diva to wave it as a fan.
all right, I'll take that. Just start.
Start to do that. Not really a reaction.
It was worth a try. All right, give it your
Check it up
rock.
the list. All right. We back up into the adjoining room. I will try to place one of the fist-sized rocks on the pedestal.
It falls 2 feet, and there's a moment of shit, and it stops maybe about a few inches away from the floor, and slowly makes its way back up,
It was too heavy.
and now it's rotating at a slower degree.
Maybe it didn't like the rock.
It still took it.
Yeah, and then the wooden ball is going fast, and as well as the luck stone's going fast.
So I should be able to take the luck stone, right?
I mean,
Maybe it has to be something of value. No offense. Like, it's value to you, but I don't think this thing.
Okay.
You
Okay.
can turn the rock into something.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah,
can turn the
yeah.
rock into wood if we want to take 10 minutes for me to do that.
Oh, yeah. Never mind.
I mean,
Okay.
I have nowhere
Yeah.
to be, so
Yeah. All right. Everybody just chill for 10 minutes. Transmute my other fist-sized rock into some wood.
Okay.
I will use Mage Hand to swat the rock I gave it out of the orbit. Take it back. Then I will put a wood fist-sized rock onto the pedestal. It'll last for, I don't know, is it an hour that it lasts?
I think so.
I think. Yeah.
I'm
You
basing
let
off
it go.
the cuffs.
It drops about a foot and then starts to spin fast.
Likes wood. Does
Okay.
not like that
Then
rock.
I'm grabbing that luck stone then with Mage Hand, taking it.
You grab in your hand, and there's that beat of shit. But nothing happens.
Okay. 2 luck stones. I've always wanted 2 luck stones.
I mean, I'll take
we should
one.
we should probably
I want
sure.
a rock. Thank you.
Legati describes in whatever terms I would use in the game what they do for you. Brings you good fortune, right?
Yes.
He doesn't know what ability checks and saving throws are.
All right, I'll look for it.
Makes you generally better.
Um,
It doesn't require attunement, so it's like one of those things where you figure it out when you attune it.
yeah. I certainly wouldn't mind keeping the other one, but I'm willing to share.
Who gets the second luck stone?
I mean, I did give up my carved, round carved, Dendrotic stone for it, but I guess.
Certainly. No,
Are you
yeah,
sure?
yeah, he gives the other one to you.
Yay!
I really wanted to wait. You looked at the ball before we put it up, right? So we can figure out what it said later.
I glanced at it, so I have the draconic runes. Probably, I'm betting it says something like "Offer me to the rotating pedestal of glory" or some shit.
Watch this
We'll
thing.
figure it out.
We did it
Dragon.
wrong, and I need food.
Yeah. Don't take the luck stones, or you will be cursed for eternity.
Yeah.
huh?
You can
You
always
should-
come back.
Maybe you should identify them later, or we should get
Yeah.
them identified
Yeah, when we're resting.
before we attune to them.
Fair, fair,
All right, I think we're done in here, right?
You walk out. We can say that you return back to the T-junction where it leads to that long corridor, as well as to the barracks. So you can either go that way or you can go back to the sort of the garden space.
Do this one first. Is that okay with everybody?
That's fine.
All right.
Check for traps.
Yeah, down the long corridor, checking for traps.
Let's see here. You go down the long corridor. I'll say that the last roll that you guys made, or at least with Morse, I'm letting it sort of count for 2 movements. So the one that Morse made, you guys do not see a trap along the way. You do see that there is a small alcove along this long hallway where you see like the remains of a water well. There is sort of a stand on top of it with a crank, but there is no rope. And it continues on towards the 2 double steel doors that is currently closed.
Which one is this one?
There is no black wall.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Our
next one-
One last thing. It goes forward to the 2 steel double doors, and then it turns left.
Left?
Yeah, it probably loops around to the corridor we saw before, north of the garden room. Try the doors first.
Mage hands try the door first.
Mage hand, try the door.
Too heavy for the mage hand.
Too heavy for the mage hand.
Corridor first or door?
We're right here, right? We should.
Check for traps, but try the door.
Here, I'll check for traps and try the door.
Investigation.
May I help?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Yeah, that means advantage, Steve.
I'm gonna
Thank
back
you.
up slowly.
By the way,
Same guy.
for my own notation as well, Phoenix, you took the ring that's attached to the light blue fabric, right?
Oh, I thought it was just a symbol on there, but yeah, I took the whole thing with me and wrapped it.
Okay.
Why?
No, remember you were holding a book and it turned.
No, I know it crumbled, but she just took like the cover. I thought it was like a symbol etched on the cover.
No, the whole book.
Oh. No, I
fizzled
took
away.
it.
And the only thing that was left was this long light blue fabric with a needle at one end and the ring at the other.
Oh, okay. I took that as a symbol. Yeah, no, I took that.
Okay. Would you roll?
Yeah, I rolled a 15.
I wrote a note somewhere.
I'll say through that investigation check, it doesn't look trapped. As a matter of fact, it used to be trapped. You see that there is a disabled, sort of like this aired sensor where if anything were to block a constant flow of air, it would trigger it. That has been disabled. And you see heavy footprints and boot prints along the sort of caked in this dried floor.
That's a shame.
Yeah, I will relay that to my companions as I go and open the door.
You open it to a large, expansive stone dome-like structure and room that has numerous like stalagmites and stalactites that have now crumbled and fallen. There are scatterings of rocks everywhere. And there are scratches along the walls and ceiling, almost like carving it out and making it larger. Like large, gigantic claws. Just but whatever creature lived in here is no longer there. And I'll say we'll keep that investigation roll. The only thing you really find is a scattering of light coin, maybe about 55 gold pieces worth, just in random spots. This used to be a dragon's hoard.
A pick. And you said 55 gold?
55 gold.
Can I
I am
do
55 gold richer.
a check on to see how old the tracks are, or what, like how old I think they are?
Roll me a survival check.
Sorry, I was writing a note. Ugh. 21.
21. I don't think you can get exact date, but I think you know that it's
Roughly.
roughly, I mean, well over 20 years.
Okay.
Probably more.
Seems
I
like the potentially the Outslock troops or the Lone Guard or whoever it was that came down here after dispatching the dragon. Seems like they've taken the loot everywhere, but beyond the warded doors. Fortunately, they were not smart enough to figure that out. But this would have been quite a lot of gold.
To be fair, I don't think we would have been able to carry it all.
It's a good problem to have.
Is it though?
There's no other exits out of this room?
No. Yeah, the only thing else that you can find, obviously, is just that corridor that goes left.
Guess we go left.
All right.
It curves a little bit, and immediately you run into another black wall.
This is either scream or breathe.
Where's the take the dress? Bart's fanny.
You do that for a few wafts, and then the wall goes up. This path, as it continues southwards now, turns east into this large alcove space where from not even going into the alcove, you can see from the hallway, there are about 3 dragon heads, all of them of same make and model. And sitting in the middle of this pedestal is a leather-wrapped sheet. It's thin enough where it can hold like paper, but it's been wrapped. And it's currently it's like sitting upon a stand on the middle of the pedestal.
I definitely want it. There's the 3 dragon heads made of stone, or
They are made of stone.
like the ones we saw before?
Yeah.
And they're all pointing at the pedestal in the middle?
Yeah. One is on the very end, pointing towards obviously whatever is looking at, and the other two are looking directly at it.
Okay. Thoughts on this? Yeah.
I don't think it'd be wise to take the thing in the center unless you could replace it with something of value.
I mean, it just looks like what, leather and parchment is what I can see, or
Yeah, I think you recognize it, Legati, as being like a bit of a scholared person yourself, or scholarly person. Yeah, it's like a leather protected covering for like a sheet of some sort, whether it's music, notes, writings, drawings, just something that like a folder, essentially.
yeah. I mean, I have plenty of pieces of paper myself. I could give it, and I consider the things I have written on my pieces of paper highly valuable. So I think it would be a fair trade. Objections?
Mage hand. Don't do it yourself.
That and I don't know. I found this on a book back there, and I show Legati the needle and the ring. I don't know if this is gonna do anything.
Roll me a history check, or I'll consider this a history check.
And I
Legati.
show the fabric too.
That is a 19 history.
Obviously, you would need a spell to get an idea of what this is, but you understand how it should be worn, at least. The ring is supposed to go on any one of the fingers, depending on the sizing, and it, much like a binding, it would go down the palm, around the wrist, and you would use the needle to sort of slip underneath to keep it steady. It's supposed to be like a decorative-looking design.
Oh, okay. And it has some kind of magical properties that I could identify later, potentially. Yeah.
Possible.
Okay, I say that it's like a potentially another magical item worth keeping. Certainly.
I'll put it in my bag.
Someone can just try it on, or we'll wait until we rest, and I'll be able to identify it.
I'll wait. I want to know what it does before I just put it on.
All right. Okay, so tell me, Mage Hand is 30 feet. Like, is there a place I could stand that's not directly in the view of a dragon head potentially, and do this?
I think that's the stressful part, is that
Yeah.
if you're standing right in front of it, obviously there's one of the dragon heads that's looking at you. If you were to move to the left side of the corridor, the alcove, the other dragon's head's looking at you. And if you go to the other end, again, another dragon's head looking at you.
So there's nowhere in the room where he could be like in between two dragons where they're not necessarily looking at him, especially since there's 3 of them?
I don't think so. In this I'm thinking of like the scene where like it's like a half circle, and you're looking at a singular opening. No matter where you get, you have in your vision a dragon's head.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe first I give it a piece of paper and see if anything happens.
Okay, Mage Hand, piece of paper out of your book.
Yeah, some scrap of notes about the Salal I'll put on the...
Floats it. It doesn't, it's on a pedestal, so it's not floating. It's just like leaning against a stand. So you slip it in front.
Yeah.
And doesn't activate.
Okay. All right. Who, Diva, you're Phoenix as well. You're very speedy in terms of reaction times, right?
Most of the time.
Okay,
Why?
do we have rope? It's not Arrow has rope, right?
Arrow's got
loves
rope,
ropes.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. My proposal is tie rope around my waist, and then Phoenix and Diva, you guys stand way off to the side, so you're not in the view of any dragon stuff. And if I scream in terror or something, you immediately pull me out of the range of fire or whatever might come out of this dragon's head.
Can't we just throw something and see what happens to it versus you? Like, throw the rabbit foot in there.
Well, it's not so much him that's going to be the problem. It's going to be what happens when he takes the thing.
Yeah.
Or put a sack of dirt there. Made of the dirt and just...
Are
Yes, we're Indiana Jones.
Oh, we could hold a sack of dirt, hold something in front of the dragon's head. An obstacle, like a bag of dirt, then...
Yeah, and Morris did take a very big bag of dirt.
I don't like the way you're talking about my dirt. That's insulating this bone that I have in it that has the capacity of burning things. So leave my dirt alone. It's my
You have a
dirt.
shield? You don't use a shield? No.
That's a good point. Morris, where's your shield?
It is on my person because I am wearing it
Oh, okay.
for protection.
Give it to Logari.
No,
If
I
I
don't
give-
want it. I want him to stand in front of the dragon, holding up the shield and blocking its mouth and vision.
Oh, you want me to be a valiant hero? I can do that. Sure.
Wonderful.
Sure. I stand and I give my most heroic pose as I put the shield in front of me, blocking the dragon's face and view. And I say, "Go on, my heroic friends." And
So
I stand there.
And you stand up to the pedestal with this sword, saying, What was your phrase?
"Go on, my heroic friends.
Okay, roll me a dex
I
save.
will be your shield."
You have.
Wait, we didn't even take it yet.
As you step forward, you step on something that goes down a little bit.
Well,
As you step on a pressure pad.
it's very
Great.
heroic.
Very heroic. Too bad we don't have someone to check for traps. I rolled a 5.
You walked in there.
I thought it was ready and waiting for the hero to do the heroic thing. I didn't realize it wasn't.
No, guys,
Pre-
the mage hand was the correct answer.
Ow! So yeah, 5.
You take 15 points of fire damage, but you are fire resistant.
Correct.
All right, so you take 7 instead. As 3 of the mouths. I will say roll me a dex save because this sheet of paper is going to catch fire unless you're able to grab it and turn and show your back.
Save it. Save the paper. Be a hero.
You guys have asked someone with a -1 to dexterity to do this for you. You guys will reap what you sowed.
The
I
DC is
believe in you.
the DC is a 12, and as you touch the paper, you immediately recognize that this is a page that belongs
10.
to your book.
Oh,
Nothing
about
I
to
can
turn.
do. I have a -1 to dex. Nothing I can do. It
Oh,
burns. It
God.
burns.
Turns into ash in your hand as you take the damage and walk out. And that is what we're going to call today's game.
No! I tried to be the hero.
A hero that doesn't listen. God.
It doesn't listen.
Well, thank you so much for joining us for session 20 of Trials of VinTear. We'll check you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.